I swear to God.
Why, hello everybody, this is I, Ryan, and we're at the second episode of Stardewvalley.
In
I keep finding cool
2023.
stuff. My backpack is full.
Huh?
Does that sound like you? Well, Pierre's got you covered over at Box Lunch. Let's see.
Alright, so we go this
Menimento
way.
2023. Thanks. Alright, new journal entry.
Oh, so we go sideways. Is that what we do?
Visit the beach south of town before 5 p.m.
Oh, you're gonna want to collect some wood so that you can get the coral and stuff from the beach.
Oh, isn't it 500 for building this bridge?
300.
300? Okay. God, really the first... I forgot how much of the first, like, 2 weeks of this game is just this. Good stuff. I love being able to cut an entire tree down in 15 whacks.
I love being absolutely, like, cultist and murderous in this game. Yeah, I'm killing all you little motherfuckers. So I just got to... You know how we like Inside Job, the TV show?
Yeah.
So they renewed it for a season 2, which was fucking amazing.
Right, we saw it.
And then they decided to reverse that.
Wait, was there only one season?
It was one season released in 2 parts.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. That's fucking weird.
Yeah, no, don't... I don't know.
That is such a trivial, like, plight.
I know it's a trivial plight, but I really liked another adult, like...
No. I don't... I want them to have a second season, too.
I wonder if they're just gonna find a new home. Like, I feel like there should... Cause that's what, Jake Johnson's new show, Minx had to do. They got a new home at, I think it was Stars?
Oh, okay.
No.
Let me go back home and dump some stuff off.
Because because HBO was canceling and removing shows. So they're like, oh, let me... Alright. They're like, oh, let's find us a new home. Okay.
The green one.
Alright, so then where do I go? Where do I go? Sideways?
Yeah, Inside Job was a very good show. I liked... wow, where to even begin? Like, it just felt like... like a lot of these shows now, it was an adult cartoon with a sci-fi twist that had an actual plot going on behind the scenes, much akin to, like, Rick and Morty meets Gravity Falls.
Yeah.
And I like those 2 shows, so the comparison for me is complimentary, and flattery, but, yeah. So, and then of course now we're waiting on season 6 for Rick and Morty. Crazy stuff.
Yeah, which is now with the whole Justin Roiland stuff, which...
Oh yeah,
I read an article earlier. I read an article earlier where people were like, well, his shows are in trouble if, like, you know, if he gets convicted, you know, and stuff like that, you know. And it's like, there are plenty of voice actors.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think the actual integrity of what he's doing is, like... Because people like Rick and Morty too much, right? Like...
Yeah.
Of course they like what's going on, and I guess it is one of those things where, I mean, it is good, though. I think it is somewhat of a pleasant surprise that people in this case are separating the artist from the art, and they're being like, hey, look, we like this, we don't really like you, you know, like... And,
yeah.
That is good. Yeah.
Well, I think the thing is not that it's so much, like, you know, separating the artist, you know, from, it's the fact that people are like, he's not, because people are like, oh my god, you know, you can't have Rick and Morty without, like, you know, Justin Roiland. It's like, do you know how many fucking voice actors there are? It can go without him. And all of his involvement can be, because I was reading the article and they're like, well, obviously Rick and Morty is going to cancel, and obviously Solar Opposites is going to cancel. And the new show about a koala man, well, they can get rid of his character, they could get rid of his character from Solar Opposites, but you know, he's also a writer producer, and it's like, oh my God, we can't have this show without this particular actor, and it's like, you can recast people all the freaking time.
It's so weird though, because like so we were literally, what is up with the H3 podcast and getting like controversial like guests all the time? Like that is let me tell you, man, like that is the downfall. Like I don't know what it is, like because we were watching an episode the other day with this Andrew Callahan and Hassan Abi and Ethan and Hila, and then all of a sudden they were all super casual, super chill, and then all of a sudden like Andrew Callahan gets all these allegations, and it's like
see, here's the thing. I wasn't super attached to Andrew. Like,
sure. That was the first time I ever saw this guy. Dude, it's happening so fast now, the rate at which, like, older men get in trouble in the entertainment industry. Like, Jesus.
It's not even that. It's like, and then I saw TikTok, I literally showed you yesterday, of someone being like, me getting death threats when I say Hassan Abi doesn't care about women. And it's like, have you watched a single, like, I don't want to sound, like, rude, but it's like, he's done nothing that I've seen but support women's rights.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand, but like
support women.
Like he supports like you know, basic, you know, human rights and shit, and he's been on the right side when it comes to Andrew, when it comes to the whole Twitch drama, you know,
right?
With his former friends, you know, like. It's interesting when you look at it, but the thing with Andrew is I had heard of him. I've heard of him because he was interviewing people, and people like, you know, Stephen Colbert and everyone were using his clips, and he was, you know, I remember when he left All Gas No Brakes because his partner screwed him over and whatever, and that was a big thing, and people were like, oh my God, his partner screwed him over, you know, and it was this whole
You can't just say that. What does that mean?
Like, you know, money wise, like he, you know.
Ooh, she scammed him.
Like, no,
she resold ketchup packets at a higher rate.
They were trying to get more money than him in a deal that they had made with a company or something. I can't remember all of the details, but then he created Channel 5. And that was just him, you know, on the road in a van, you know, interviewing people and such. And, you know, I thought that was... Ooh, I get to select a difficulty. Let's do medium. Cthulhu Pack activated. This game, by the way, is... I know I've said it. I've said it so much. This game is so pretty. It truly, honestly, is quite beautiful. But
yeah,
Andrew, but I know, right? Andrew Callahan. Then you didn't really hear much about him for a while. Other than that, he was interviewing, like, you know, Fox people, you know, like the Trump fans and shit. Like he was getting, like, you know, he was doing all of that. And then he comes out. I didn't even know he'd been talking to HBO about a docuseries because I don't follow him. I don't really watch his stuff. So this came out as a surprise because as soon as I learned he had an HBO like special, the accusations started coming out. Like I was like, and people sit there, and it was so interesting. Because people were like, why, like, it's awful convenient that they would say something now. And it's like, if someone screwed you over, and then, and you didn't talk to them, you know, you hadn't talked to them in a while, and all of a sudden you see an article, let's say, of them getting praise, or an award, or an accolade, like, you're gonna be like, you know, you're gonna kind of be like, what the fuck? And you're gonna want to tell someone, hey, this person, like, screwed me over. Like, this person's not who you think they are. And yes, you know, it happens a lot of the time, when big shit comes out.
Who the fuck?
Oh, that's Marlon, I think. No, that's not Marlon, that's, what's his... Oh, gosh.
Gone fishing. Ah,
That's
shit.
Willy. If you get really good at fishing, you can get an
Hold up.
iridium rod, and you can catch a whole bunch of new fish. So you
Alright.
want to learn how to fish.
You're gonna scare away the fish.
I'm not gonna scare them.
And a 1, and a 2, and a 3, 4. I caught a sardine. Nice. That was fun. I'm gonna do it again.
That was beautiful, actually.
So what the frick?
Pickles!
Right.
Pickles, the cult follower! Woo! Yay!
Is it supposed to say hit, or is it supposed to shake? Oh my god, I'm gonna pick a new spot. Hold up. If I just like go out over in this direction. Ooh. It's like you can't. Oh.
Alright,
am I...
well, Pickles is gonna do some stoning.
It was jiggling and juggling. It's supposed to say I don't get that fish.
But people people were just being like, I can't believe, they would come out. It's really convenient that you didn't say anything before, it got popular. And it's like the best time to say, hey, someone's a piece of shit.
Is when you're motivated by spite, I guess.
Not but when people are gonna say, people are gonna like praise them. And people are gonna praise him, and people are gonna have him on things, and it's like he is a terrible person, and you don't want people to like get hurt the more popular he gets.
Right. Yeah. The best thing people should aim for is like mediocrity. Oh god. Oh god.
Oh, you're getting it. Oh god. Yes. Yes.
I got it. Yeah.
Woo!
Anchovy.
Woo! But like it's the same thing where it's like, you if people are getting praise and such for something, you want to make sure that you can as soon as possible let people know that like the person's a terrible person. And so it's really interesting how people are like,
Clam.
But it was just, but the thing is like I watched his apology. Because Hassan was like, I really hope he, like, starts talking and stuff, and, like, he was super, like, kind of like, hey, this is, like, fucked up.
I don't think apologies are very good,
but he watched an apology, and even Hassan's like, bro, your apology is so fucking weird. Because Andrew goes like...
I don't think people should ever, like, people should actually work. They shouldn't make apology videos. You know what I mean?
I mean,
they should actually work to
like you do
restore their community that they've like damaged.
But the thing is,
because the minute that they try to make it a video, it's going to be lights, camera, action. It's going to be all about them, right? Like that's how it's going to be. So like they should try to actually restore their community. Like apology videos are doomed to fail from the start.
I do think you need to make some sort of thing to address it. I don't think it needs to be 20 minutes. I think it needs to be very much like, hey, I take accountability. I did do something wrong. I did do, X, Y, and Z. It doesn't need to be 20 minutes. But you do need to acknowledge it because he's a public figure. Mm-hmm. So he has to, on some level, go, oh, but in his apology, he starts going, I was drinking and that's no excuse, I'm gonna go to rehab, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and it's like, no one is going, oh wow, drinking, that's like, shit man, like, that really is it's like, no, you, like, he didn't even, like, the least you can do is say, I am sorry, I did this horrible thing. I will pay for anyone's therapy bills. I will pay for like damages. I will do this, but he didn't because that would him actually acknowledging he did something wrong. He like completely put the focus on drinking and being in a position of power, and it was so fucking like, even because like Hassan's like really, because people were talking about how much of a bullshit apology it was, and Hassan was like, yeah, no, he made it like all about himself. He detached, and that was one of Hassan's points, is like, in order for he would actually have to take accountability, by
I don't know. Do you? I have a question. Like, let's say someone like I don't know. Let's say someone did something stupid, like insult like a homeless person or whatever. Like, in their if they made an apology video, like
Well, are
should
they a
they
public
like?
figure? Are we assuming they're a public figure?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Like some like big guy like Curtis Connor or Shane Dawson or something. Like, should they say like should in their apology video should they go like, hey, is that a
Yeah.
shroom over there? Hey everybody, it's Ryan Sierra. We're playing Stardewvalley, and oh my goodness. Oh, then there's the ranger here. Hello there, I'm Gunther.
Oh yeah, he collects like bones, fossils, and like the stuff, the works, you know.
Yeah. No, but so two things. One, I totally agree. Like, so it's I wouldn't necessarily relish myself like a bloodthirsty person myself. Like I'm pretty like easygoing to a fault, and like what happens is there. But I do think that for better or for worse, like people's apologies need to just kind of just be slightly prostrating, right? Like you need to just be like a little on the chin and just be like, hey, look, me, myself, and I did it wrong, you know, and like nothing else, right? Like no like spectacle, and it sucks because inherently, like when you make it a video, it becomes a spectacle, right? Because you're recording, you're getting lighting set up and everything, but like it has to be as least spectacle as possible, you know. With that said, like I'm curious, and I asked this genuinely as like a actual like constructive question. How should a person kind of like try to make restorative alms, ALM, with people? Like, if someone went like let's say someone had because if someone shouldn't make it about themselves, should they make it about they should make it about people that they've hurt, and how much should they do that until it becomes like on the nose, right? Like hypothetically speaking, let's say like a big YouTuber insulted another big YouTuber, and then let's say they make an apology video, but in that apology video they're like, that dude, man, they are so cool and I messed up. But enough about me. Let's talk about how cool they are. Because right, like, does that when does it go from like kind of like a reconciling to like kind of sounding too on the nose and too, I guess, like brown nosing, conciliatory, kind of fake? You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, what do you mean by insults? Like, are they being racist?
it's a good question. I didn't think that far. You make something up.
Well, the situation is broad, and to each situation is a different answer. So, I mean, what I would say is when people, because it's interesting. I've seen a couple dramas like this, and in this instance,
Oh wait, what am I doing? No,
I would say that if they insulted them, and it wasn't like having to deal with racism or whatnot, I think to where it can be put to bed by the person themselves, I would say, is if we saw some sort of, I guess, public thing where it's like, hey, I heard the apology, I saw the apology, it's a good apology, I accept it, you know, it's fine if you guys are still apprehensive, but I needed this video in order to forgive them. And we've talked it over privately in DMs, and I accept their apology. A good example of this is the other creator of Rick and Morty, Dan Harmon. He had power over a writer, and he was like sexually harassing her, and you know, it was a form of, you know, it was, I would say, work abuse, because he quite literally had her paycheck in his hands, you know, and she was always wondering, hey, is it because you like me, or is it because I'm good at my job that you're liking my script, like that you're liking my ideas, you know?
right.
She always questioned her, like it caused her quite, like, you know, really big anguish. And she said that the apology that that Dan Harmon gave really helped her in terms of her healing, and her in turn of like forgiving him, is how he apologized. And a lot of people criticize his apology, but what matters is that the victim found it was genuine. And the
Right.
victim said that this apology helped her healing. And no one else's opinion from that matters, because it's the victim then talking and saying, hey, this is a really good apology.